All right, as promised, here's a video on the warm handoff three-way text program. Also, the intro call. So this is designed mainly for a setter closer model. So you may be managing people. I'll keep this in the context of solar, by the way, but you can apply this concept to any product. Doesn't really matter. But if you have people that are booking appointments, they're the setter, and they hand the appointment over to a closer, the salesperson. This is what I've used for years to drive up sit rate. So here you go. So conceptually, warm handoff, three-way text. What you're doing is you're looking to take the excitement that the customer has when they're speaking to the appointment setter and keep it at a very high level. And the best way to do that is to take that customer and have the setter introduce them to the salesperson. And so the idea is that the salesperson, we want them to build rapport, and a little bit of review like the psychology and the objective of the introduction call, but building rapport, doing a bit of discovery, selling them on the consultation again. Another video I posted was about, how to drive sit rate, benefit versus cost. And I'll show a slide again in a second. But as soon as we can get that customer connected to that salesperson, as soon as they have rapport and a connection and a relationship, the more likely they are to sit the appointment. Unless the companies like an Apple or a Tesla, where there's an enchantment there and there's a heavy connection or relationship to the brand, people are mainly related, or people look for a connection to the salesperson, not so much the brand. I was watching a video, I forget who posted it, but the main reason why certain reps get ghosted and certain reps don't is relationship. Does the customer want to pick up the phone when all is said and done? So, thank you. Anyhow, so that's the reason why you do this. You hand off the customer from setter to closer. You get the relationship established right away. You get the idea. So here's what you do. This is what the appointment setter would say, either in the store, if it's in a retail setting, at the door, if they're canvassing, field marketing, or in the call center, if you purchase leads and they're booking the appointment. So you say, okay, Joanne's just my role play name. We have you locked in for tomorrow at 2. Your consultant's name is blank. They're really awesome. They'll be calling you shortly to introduce themselves and to gather some quick information to make sure we make the best use of your time. You're kind of promoting what's in it for the customer to do an introduction call, because they're in a conversation now with the setter. They're then going to have an introduction call, and then they're going to have the actual consultation. So they may be wondering, well, why are there these different steps? So each step you want to communicate to the customer what's in it for them, or a reason or a justification behind why you're doing it. And so the main thing is we're going to be able to save you some time by connecting you with the consultant before the consultation itself, or before the meeting. I will send you both a three-way text right now to introduce you to blank. Please let me know if you get the text. I want to ensure I entered your number incorrectly. Okay, great. Looks like you're all set, and we look forward to partnering with you on your energy needs. This is important. What this does is it allows you to know for sure as a setter if you have the right phone number. One of the reasons why we lose appointments or we don't convert them to sits is fake email, don't have the right phone number, that sort of thing, and it becomes problematic. But make sure whatever you're doing, you're following do not call rules, all that stuff. Usually all of these systems, we have a customer check a box that says, hey, yes, I give you permission to call me or to reach out to me or to text me. And then, so that's how they set it up at the store or in whatever setting. And then here's what a template looks like for the actual text that the setter would send to the customer, the sales rep, and usually either their manager or the sales rep's manager. You should have somebody in a supervisory role overseeing this, holding people accountable, making sure the right thing's being sent, and making sure it's being sent at all. So, hi, blank. This is blank with blank. It was a pleasure speaking with you today. Your solar appointment information's there. Please respond with a thumbs up to confirm the receipt. Now, in this text, this group, the sales rep's getting the text. The sales rep needs to then call this customer right away. If they're in the home, I get it. They should be interrupting the appointment they're with right now. But within a few hours, we need for them to text this customer, letting them know, hey, I will be calling you to introduce myself. And so here's what a standard text response would look like from sales rep into this 3-way or 4-way text. Looking forward to meeting with you, blank. I'll give you a call soon to introduce myself and to ask you a few quick questions so we can customize the consultation and save us some time. If you're opposed to using the word consultation, use the word meeting or appointment or whatever. Really doesn't matter too much. And then if the customer doesn't pick up, you need to teach the sales reps to take action to motivate customer or cause customer to pick up the phone. So they could send a text to drive the customer to pick up their phone. Here's what that looks like, sounds like, feels like. Hey, Joanne, this is blank or Joe from blank. Just try to reach out to you. I just need you to chat with you for a minute, so to be able to get a little more information, so that we could save you time. You see the theme: save time during the meeting, during the consultation itself. If the customer doesn't pick up their phone for the intro call or after several attempts, rep needs to be instructed to still go to the appointment because plenty of times you go out to the house, customer opens the door, and they're there, and you're thinking, well, why the heck didn't they pick up their phone for the intro call? Probably because the setter did a poor job setting the stage for that intro call, or whatever. They just were busy. They didn't want to pick up their phone, but in their mind, the appointment was good to go. I can't tell you how many times we've gotten customer escalations or issues where it's not quote unquote confirmed. Rep doesn't go, and customer then calls the call center all fired up a few hours later. Where the heck are you guys? And it's like, well, you didn't pick up your phone for the confirmation call. Well, the way these things work, if I book an appointment in the store with the call center agent or somebody knocking on my door, in my mind, it's good to go. Why do I need to confirm something I've already committed to? So teach reps that they go regardless. Worst case, if it's a no-show, they knock on doors in the area, they canvass the area, they hit the phones. Excuse me. They find a way to make the most out of that time, obviously. Here's some more. If the rep is off for the day, teach them how to set up an auto reply on their phone. So there's some training there on that, and it depends on obviously the phone they're using. Already 7 minutes into this video. So let's go through the structure of the intro call. I already covered this slide on a previous video, but just to really review the purpose and really drive home the intention to the salespeople why this intro call is so important. It builds rapport. It does a discovery, basically. So the general concept is that I want to call customer and give them a taste of what it's like to meet with me or what the consultation is going to be like. I'm not doing it because I'm worried that they've forgotten or I'm worried that they're going to cancel. Like, that's what a confirmation would be. I'm not confirming. I'm introducing myself. Two distinctly different things. If you're confirming the appointment, it means you already assume they're going to cancel, and you're likely to drive that outcome to be right about the expected outcome. So it's an introduction. What better way to keep them warm and excited about a consultation by giving them a taste of what it's like, or giving them a taste of the consultative approach from the person that's actually going to be going to their home. So ask some discovery questions, review benefits of the consultation, get utility bill. Don't make it a deal breaker, though. The more info they give to the consultant over the phone, the more bought in they are, because they have now deposited into their commitment account. There's that whole concept. So if I've invested energy into being prepared or checking some boxes for an appointment, I'm more likely to follow through on that appointment. If I fill out paperwork and do all those things, I'm not saying to go that far, but conceptually, let's get some information. Let's make sure that we're doing discovery and reviewing the benefits. And to remind you guys, time is the cost of these appointments. It's fixed. We want the sales rep to pick up some of these benefits that have fallen off the stack since the customer spoke to the setter and put those benefits back onto the benefit stack. That's the point of this intro call. If you do not reach the customer, again, you are required to go to the home. I'm always reemphasizing that with the sales reps. Here's the script itself. Hey, Joanne, say their name like it's the best in the world. Always teach your reps, obviously, to speak to people with a level of excitement, enthusiasm, like, oh my God, I'm happy to speak to you. I'm happy to connect with you. So, hey, Joanne, this is Joe from blank. How are you doing? Really looking forward to meeting with you tomorrow at 2. Really excited for you to learn about solar and to see if you can unlock all the amazing benefits that solar can bring you if your home qualifies. We've already started your design, and I'm excited to share it with you. You have a great home for solar, by the way. I know that your time is important to you, so I just want to make sure I want to make sure our meeting is very valuable to you. What's the most important thing you want to get from meeting with me? I could see we haven't received your usage yet. Usage is needed so that it could save us some time during the appointment and design the best performing system for you. I can walk you through how to get your usage from the utility company if you'd like. Is there anyone else involved in the solar project? Will they be available to join us tomorrow? I want to ensure everyone's questions are answered and that you have all the information you'll need to decide which solar plan is right for you. Sounds great. Let's dig into the details when we meet tomorrow. See you then. So it does a few things. It lets them know we've already invested energy as a company into preparing for this consultation. So it's kind of like, hey, please don't cancel. We've already invested energy. Human beings, for the most part, don't want to let companies and let people down. And so if they know you've already gone to work on their behalf for them, preparing for this consultation, increases the likelihood of the appointment sitting. And so there's just obviously nuance in psychology, and there's a reason why each line is there. Teach the sales consultant, though, to drive up the sit rate by dealing with objections and concerns. So you want to take a concern, turn it into an unanswered question, get it answered, powerfully deal with the objection, and essentially teach them to talk a customer into keeping the appointment, no different than you'd want the setter, how you want the setter to operate and behave when they're originally selling the customer on the appointment to begin with. And so you must teach your sales reps to take full responsibility for a sit rate, even though they didn't book the appointment to begin with. What I've done for years, I say, reps, I get that these appointments were booked by somebody else. I want you to view them as leads with no appointment attached to them at all. As if you literally have to resell them or sell them to begin with on the consultation. If you go in with that mindset or knowing that that could be something that's needed, you'll be prepared to handle whatever appointment objections they have and get them resold and sold on the appointment. Because think about driving up your sit rate by 10%. I mean, geez, some of you guys have companies where you're dealing with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of leads a year. Increasing your sit rate by 5%, 10%. Whoa. Top of funnel, getting in front of more customers, pitching them. It's amazing on how much money we spend as companies generating these leads and these appointments, and we never even pitch these customers' numbers. It's crazy to think about it. So make your sales reps better. Get them better prepared to sell customers on a higher sit rate. Side note, what I've also done is I could create another video on philosophy around routing of leads, routing of appointments, skill ranking. I'm big, though, on enforcing certain sit rates in order to drive quantity appointments to certain reps, like using it as a way or a carrot to motivate and drive the right behavior. So again, I'll create a separate video on how that works, but 20-20-60 rule. Power persuasion, 20% of the population will never be persuaded to do something. 20% will always be persuaded to do something in spite of how effective or ineffective the salesperson is. 60% of the population, they're on the fence. They're directly influenced by the salesperson. So in this case, we're talking about persuading somebody to keep the appointment. You can use this 20-20-60 concept to teach closing skills in a variety of contexts: appointment setting, lead generation, referral generation, the sale itself, selling somebody on, signing the final design, or going through with a re-roof, main panel upgrade, et cetera. And so and that's a separate video I can dive into as well about the how to sway fence sitters. A lot of training came from my old Cutco days. So these objections here, I had somebody just script. I role played it out loud on a national call, and somebody typed it up for me. All right. So some of these are long-winded. They're not perfectly edited. Sometimes I get very chatterbox. I become a chatterbox. So take a look at it. I'm going to attach this document to the comment section, and I would scale back on some of this word choice. But this really does cover the major objections, appointment objections a rep can get. And you can use these also to better prepare your setters as well. So although this is kind of set up for sales rep calling customer introduction and then have faced with having to deal with objections, you can use the same technique to improve your setter skill set, which will get you more appointments to begin with. So there's the I can't afford it. I'm not going to read through the whole thing. The general idea of that is that they need to understand that there's no money out of pocket for these programs, and that it's not an additional bill. And so you'll see I go into depth there with that. I essentially tell them that you're redirecting dollars from the utility company into your own solar system. And so you're not adding, there's no net increase in your monthly out of pocket. In fact, you're saving money, so you're decreasing. So you can't afford not to do it, right? If you're having issues with affordability, this is exactly the program for you, because if you qualify, you end up saving money, which then allows you to get other things and to afford other things, in fact. So it's all right there. The general concept or structure is question, answer, question. Again, something taught to me years ago. If somebody asks a question, you answer it, but you must end with your own question, so you're steering the direction of the conversation. You want the customer's mind to be focused on answering your question versus coming up with whatever variety of thoughts, conjecture, criticisms. Who knows? Right? So you never end after a period. You only end after a question ever. My spouse set the appointment, not interested. And so you kind of go in and dive into finding, well, why would the spouse have, or likely here's why Frank, your husband, booked the appointment. Frank is definitely going to still want to get the information, and he thought you would too. And you go through all those things, right? Moving soon. First, see if it's a smoke screen, and then kind of deal with, hey, this better. Even if it's like, Joanne, we have customers that go solar and then move like 6 months later, and now their house is worth more to the next homeowner. And so you can handle really any objection. Didn't qualify with the last company. That's how you deal with it here. Don't need solar. Yeah, that's interesting. Talking about necessity, and you connect the dots back to, again, control, predictability, and saving money is usually what I lean on there. Too busy, no time. And that's why I level with them. I connect with them. I get it. You're juggling a lot. Me too. And you're probably looking to eliminate things from your calendar. This would not be one of them. Here's why. And see, again, it's scripted there for you. Negative reviews online. I've dealt with these for years, not because I work for bad companies, but no company's perfect. I was with Sunrun for 7 years, and wow, from where Sunrun was in 2014 to where they were when I left the company in early of this year, 2022. Boy, did we transform that business and have to deal with a lot of existing customer escalations and concerns that were there. Even though we improved for the better, we needed to let customers know, why we improved, how we improved. So that way it's like, all right, those negative reviews you saw, you're not going to get the same experience those people had. You're not hiding it. You face it head on, but basically you're explaining how the company's either made changes, or you as the salesperson or the salesperson will deliver that customer a better experience than whoever wrote the review received or had at the time. So let's end it on that note. Again, this is the warm handoff, a setter handing off the appointment to the closer, making sure that we're keeping the enthusiasm, the benefits, the perceived benefits at an all-time high, empowering the salespeople to sell and resell and talk the customer essentially into keeping the appointment, driving up sit rate, pays huge dividends, obviously, getting in front of more customers. Even if your sit to close rate stays the same, just by having a higher sit rate, obviously you know what that'll do in terms of spitting sales out the other side of the funnel. So have a good day.